leading strategic communication campaign, and convening influential stakeholders around critical issues including digital inclusion, innovation, women's empowerment, and sustainable development. She is passionate about leveraging digital platforms to drive social impact, elevate women's leadership, and influence policy conversations that create lasting change. Can we give a round of applause for Melinda? That bio speaks volumes. So thank you so much, Melinda. And I will now hand over to you.
Thank you very much. I was wondering if that's actually me. Who wrote that? Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining this session. It's actually a privilege to be moderating the last session of the Commonwealth Digital Roadshow. I feel very privileged to be closing the sessions. And this session, as described, is a Women Innovators session. Women Innovators driving local digital solutions. And all the conversations that we've been having, especially today, we have been talking about policy, we've been having conversations about how we could drive innovation. But we often speak about digital transformation as though it lives in strategy papers, in documents, in policy documents, or, as if it ends with the conversations in conferences. But something about digital transformation that makes it meaningful is when it solves everyday problems. And that is what this session is about. When it helps a mother to access healthcare faster, when it helps a young graduate to find a job without spending money that they don't have, when it helps a child in a rural community to access education. That is what this session is about. Solutions built right here in Lesotho. And when we talk about solutions, a lot of people across the globe think about Silicon Mountain. But does it always come from Silicon Mountain? I think that's a question we're going to respond to today. Solutions and innovation must not always come in a suit like one that I'm wearing. Sometimes it can come from Moteng wearing a blanket. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to be moderating this session. We're not having panel discussions. We're actually having demonstrations because the people who will be talking during this session have actually done something and they want to show you what they have done. I want to encourage you to ask as many questions as you can to them. And we want to encourage all those who can support them in the room because we have international partners in the house, not to hesitate to reach out. It's my honor to invite to the stage the first ever remarkable innovator. She's a network and systems support officer with hands-on experience in systems administration and network design. She is a computer systems engineer and Fortinet certified associate in cybersecurity. She's committed to best practices in security administration at Mapota Technologies. Passionate about digital inclusion, she has co-developed a learning management system to advance digital literacy in schools and underserved communities. We're talking about schools earlier, and I think that most of those questions that we couldn't respond to at that time, she'll be able to respond to them. And she focuses on empowering educators and students. So it is my pleasure to welcome Sibongile Magumela. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Please put your hands together. A powerful round of applause for her as she comes to the stage to demonstrate her innovation.
I'll connect after I give a speech. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I had to take off my shoes because I almost tripped the first time I got on stage, so please excuse me for that. I am so honored and grateful to have been invited to speak and then to present a solution that was aimed at the project that was held by the United Nations Development Program in collaboration with Sparkle Technologies, the Ministry of Communications, long form Ministry of Information, Communications, Science, Technology, and Innovation, and the Ministry of Education and Training. That's what I'll be speaking about today. So I'm just really honored and grateful for the opportunity. So before I begin, here is what I would like to share. So Lesotho has been independent now for 60 years. And for all of these years, we have witnessed our education evolve from traditional, informal systems into more structured framework. Now, with the emergence of artificial intelligence and other technologies, this calls for these learning structures to align with digital advancements, with education being at the heart of this transformation. Embracing the digital transformation will make our education more accessible, inclusive, and one that is empowered by digital tools. And in many of our communities, under education and digital literacy, it isn't a reflection of inability. Our people are capable of, and they are eager to learn. The challenge is disparity in access, in infrastructure, quality of education, and delivery methods. So recently, I learned of a fascinating and quite a life-changing fact about the human gene segment. It was found in 1996 that there was a group of 15 geneticists that wrote a book called The American Association for Advancement of Science, The Global Pattern of Linkage Disequilibrium at the CD4 locus and Modern Human Origin. Now, this association was composed of people who studied about the DNA, which is the genome, and they found that different types of people have different types of DNA series. Now, a DNA series, it can tell you about the origin of a people and how intelligent those people are. And during their studies, they found that African people have a higher gene series than any other race in the world. People of the African origin have 9 gene segments, while other races have 6 gene segments. The animal kingdom has 6 to less gene segments. So if you remember, I said the higher the gene series, the more the intelligent the people. So if we as Africans have 9 DNA series, it talks to our ability or our intellectual ability to be able to learn and to innovate. Now, here is a lived experience. I had the opportunity to participate in the Digital Literacy Initiative focused on promoting inclusion by equipping women, youth, and marginalized groups with essential digital skills. Like I said before, this project was led by the United Nations Development Program, the Ministry of Communications, and the Ministry of Education and Training. 40 schools with operating computer labs were selected, and teacher ambassadors were assigned to each school to teach the community digital skills. And in February of 2026, the Lesotho Communications Authority, together with the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Communications, they piloted another project, now this time focusing on equipping teachers with essential digital skills. I was actively involved in both phases of the initiative, serving as an IT administrator and in the latter phase as a digital literacy educator. Through my involvement, I identified a recurring challenge across both projects, that there was an absence of a structured digital platform to support teaching, learning, and coordination. It was through this experience that I connected with my partner, Ms. Maletiba Magwele, a software engineer, AI and digital transformation specialist, and internationally published researcher whose technical expertise complemented my operational and educational experience in the project. So from our deliberations, we wanted to be able to address the existing problems, and then we decided to build a learning management system. Now, this learning management system is a practical solution that is designed specifically for the community digital inclusion model project, and it has the potential to scale across schools in our country, and particularly those in the rural areas. Now, the learning management system, the plan, is for us to be able to embed in it a more structured curriculum that will enhance the cognitive thinking of our people and align with advancements of technology, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity awareness, and integration of that awareness in a practical manner. It will also offer a comprehensive way that the community students, teacher ambassadors, and administrators will be able to interact. Now, as we looked deeper through our deliberations and analysis of how the project was going, we began to see a pattern across digital landscape in Lesotho, in the health sector, in governance, in agriculture, and public service. I would like to note here that in our country right now, there is no shortage of intention because our government has committed to a digital transformation and it is investing in digital inclusion. The ambition is there, it exists, but I believe that what's missing is a more, what can I say? An operational infrastructure that turns ambition into measurable impact. Programs, they do exist, but the system to track whether they are working do not. Data is collected, but on paper, and it's at scattered files through manual processes that cannot scale. So the gap is not just between our people and technology, the gap is between our intention and the infrastructure to develop services to our people. Education is where we decided to start specifically in this project. And to be honest, when we first approached this project, we believed that the problem was simply the absence of software. However, we later on realized that if we did not do a thorough analysis of what was going on ground, how teaching was being delivered, reporting was being done, then our dashboard would be a pretty dashboard with no measurable results, and that's not what we wanted. So our learning management system is designed to offer a more centralized, organized, accessible, and a scalable solution for digital education transformation. in the long term, this learning management system, as I mentioned earlier, the desire is that we hope it to be adopted across our schools nationwide to enhance student learning outcomes while supporting teachers with the tools to monitor student progress in real time. By thoughtfully integrating artificial intelligence, the system aims to promote more effective and responsible digital engagement in the classroom. And the curriculum embedded in the system moving forward must and will be structured to accommodate the 9 gene segment in our people. Now I would like to call my partner, Mayor Maletiba Magwele, to come and demonstrate to us the learning management system.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very nervous. I don't know how to present. I'm an engineer, so if it sucks, forgive me. Could you please connect the screen? Okay, so don't mind that logo, but just before we get started, there are 3 things that I want to mention. Number 1, I want to talk about digital presence. Number 2, digital literacy, and this is what this project has to do with. And lastly, we want to talk about the digital economy. Now, with digital presence, in the new age of the world, well, with where the world is right now, we cannot afford to still be using paper-based systems. So previously, you'd have to use your CV to apply for a job, but in the digital space, you should have a digital presence, meaning that you should have your own online website, or, you know, if you're a business, have a business website. If you're individual, you should have a personal website. Now, before we started with this, the project did not have a website. And the reason we want to have a website is because websites help pass on the mission of what the project does. If you cannot speak for yourself and you meet Mark Zuckerberg in an elevator and you only have 15 seconds with him, you're not going to be attaching your CV, you're not going to be attaching a brochure on PDF via email. If you just say, hey, go to www.me.com, it just advertises you quickly, speaks for you. So what we have here is where we wanted to specifically talk about what the project is and how to get involved. Oh shoot, how do I scroll? Okay, there we go. How to find out about the project, who are the people involved in the project, and if you go to the website right now, cdim.codecafe.ai, you'll get all the information you need. I'm not going to go through everything because we are strict on time. So here you'll see why the project exists, what's happening, and how we are looking to solve the problem with this solution. Now I'm going to go over to the platform already, but as you can see, we have 1 platform, 3 portals, 0 silos. We have an administrator, we have a teacher, and we have a student. We have different types of administrators because we have different stakeholders. But without further ado, we're going to go into the platform itself. Here we're already logged in, and this is what an administrator who is, let's say, for example, Ministry of Innovation, and we'll just keep it short. Ministry of Innovation, they want to know what's happening at a high level. Instead of having to go through all the different papers that exist and all the different emails from all the different people, they just come into this platform. They'll be able to see how many users we have, how many active schools there are, how many sessions for teaching exist, how many students have been attending at what rate, and how many reports have been submitted by teachers and other administrators, such as school principals and all of that good stuff. Here on the dashboard, we're showing, just attendance by school. But like my partner said, the more we understand what the project needs, the better tailored the solution is. So this is a ongoing process that will keep evolving, and we'll go back to the roadmap just shortly. But if you can see here, we've got our dashboard, we've got all our users. Users. Here you can add a user, you can filter through different users. different types of users. You can search users, you can search the schools. Here we've got our curriculum, and this is where you can add different types. So here we already have the ones that are being implemented currently in the program. Here they are, and at the moment what we're doing here is replacing the current systems where they use Google Drive, WhatsApp. It's just scattered basically. So what we're doing with this platform is just putting everything together all in one so that students, teachers, schools, as well as administrators don't have to chase information, specifically when needing to report. Here we can create sessions, we can create assessments, and we can also see once a student has submitted, and it tells us how they've scored. And on the same side, if I actually log into the student's profile, we'll be able to see them take the assessment. Student. Shoot. What's the password? How do I open this? Okay. Okay. Okay, so now we're in the student's dashboard, and assuming that they've just had an assessment that was created for them, they can go over here and start answering the questions, and it automatically has the rubric installed. So once they answer, it's already going to tell what their score was, and once they've submitted that, it goes over to the teacher, and let's just answer that. Yeah, I failed. Badly. But anyway, this is information that will be valuable to the people who need to know this information. So for example, here we also have announcements. So instead of using WhatsApp to announce anything, we can just use the platform for the users to just provide information in here, feedback as well, so that it's easier to track, as opposed to if you have a WhatsApp group and somebody provides feedback, 2 weeks later, more feedback, some of it will get lost. So at least when we have it centralized in one place, we can also allow for us to leverage AI. And as you can see down here, we have our own chatbot in here, which at the moment can speak Sesotho, but of course, there's a lot more training that would need to be done for it. Let's just wait for the response any second now. Oh, shoot. It's down. Okay, so I'm going to go back to our homepage so that we can just have a look at all the features that exist. And where the future of the platform is going. So if we go in here into our roadmap, what you'll notice is that what I was attempting to show is where we are at the moment, which is phase 1. And these are all the features that we have at the moment. But as each phase goes and each process starts to mature, we're going to have more features that support the operational reality of the program, because sometimes we could build something that we think they need, but if they're not ready yet, let's say, for example, assessments. If at the moment we're only doing multiple choice assessments, we can't really have a more detailed assessment in the software. So our progress with the platform depends on the progress of the operational reality of the project. So phase 2 is where we'll be walking along with the project administrators to get them to that stage where we can build them even stronger technology. And if you go to the website right now, guys, you'll be able to go through this entire roadmap just to see where the future is going. And Like my partner had said, the final goal here is to have a national infrastructure where more people can come in here. And the reason we have this website and the digital presence for this project is so that anyone who may know anyone who has a school that wants to be digitally literate can go to this website and understand exactly how we're going to achieve that. And coming back to what I'd said about the digital economy, this is just the beginning of how we can impart digital skills, because participation in the digital economy, and I'll speak for myself, is only possible if you have the skills that the digital economy needs. Our curriculum has to speak to that directly, not what we think would be good for people to know based on where they are now, but what the world needs so that we can meet them there. And
Thank you very much, Malitiba. When she started, she said she was very nervous, but she took us through, right through to the end. Congratulations, and thank you very much to both of you. Please give them, a very huge round of applause. Like I said at the start, this is the most interesting session because we have moved from the talkers to the doers, right? And this is what this roadshow is about: local solutions designed for the people. And what is so interesting about this partnership is she went to an event, she met someone who can complement her expertise, they worked together, and then they developed this learning management system, which is going to be, they hope will be adopted nationwide, and I dare say across the African continent. Please put your hands together for these powerful ladies. Isn't that amazing? That is what we are looking forward to seeing from especially our young people as we hand over the future to them to build these digital economies that we want to see. I'll now open the floor for the audience to ask questions so that we could invite the next people to come and demonstrate. If there are any questions, please. Any questions in the room, or do you want to go to the website? Okay, I see a lot of hands. Please, where those with the microphones, kindly pass them. This is one.
Firstly, congratulations, ladies, and well done. The presentation for me was exceptional because it sits at a very interesting intersection for me. You seem to be building something that looks like a Coursera. Am I correct in assuming that? Okay. If you are building something that looks like a Coursera, I would like to maybe get a sense from you, what is your 2027 number? Because we all have to help you achieve that number in here collectively. So what are your numbers? How many people do you want online? Help us help you to get some of the numbers that you require for the scale that you need. Whether it's Coursera or not, it's what I see in my head, but it's your model, it's not mine. Okay. So what are the numbers? 2027, how many businesses or projects are you looking to get on? What type of projects are you targeting so that we in here can begin trying to help you identify your partners?
Oh, okay. Okay, so the project, the SIDM project, as we said earlier, the solution is we designed it particularly for the SIDM project, and the numbers are, it was projected that over 1,500 people in our communities be taught digital literacy skills. But beyond that, we are really looking to expand it to more schools. That is, we may not really have a specific number of people that we want to teach by 2027. However, we do want to see the project adopted in schools. Yes, particularly in the rural areas. Yes.
And just to add to that, I think for now it's hard to say what the scale is until we get the operational parts done right. Because if we decide that we're going to scale while we haven't gotten everything right from an operations perspective inside the business or inside the project, then it means that if we then shoot for 10,000 people, if our systems aren't, if the operations aren't ready to scale, then we're not there yet, if that makes sense. So the answer, we do want to have national rollout, not just high schoolers, not just primary schoolers, but every single one of you guys, because digital literacy does not discriminate on age or anything like that. So that is a good question, but right now we may not have the exact number. Yeah.
Can I go ahead? I was actually interested in, by the way, well done. They say that magic happens on the other side of fear. You were afraid, but you still did it. Well done. I was actually interested in the other aspect of Melrato's question regarding a Coursera, which I understand is a platform wherein other providers of education could potentially piggyback or use your platform to be able to deliver education, not just to be delivering. I mean, I'm happy with the digital skills and how you are doing it. This is impressive work, right? So from an expansion perspective, could you potentially think of it as a Coursera platform? And here's why. I just came from another discussion around moving from access to ownership. And this is specifically why, because the more we continue to just simply think of the discussions as access and not as ownership, we then don't begin to build wealth. We then don't begin to participate in the economy, because access is good, but ownership builds wealth. It allows everyone to be able to participate in the economy. And that question and the response to it, even if you can, go back and sit and plan around it, could potentially drive economic participation and therefore wealth building.
Right. Thank you for that feedback. There's a bunch more that we have in store. In store. So we'd love to have a conversation with you to also pick your brain so that we can really make this beneficial for more people.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies. In the interest of time, I'd like to invite you to catch up with both ladies during a coffee break or some other time after the session to respond to all the questions that you may have. And I'll just throw this question out here. After school, what next? What's the next thing you're thinking about after school? Building something. Okay. Thank you for that response. Building something. I know a lot of people would have said, we want a job. We're looking for a job, but it's so interesting that these ladies after school have decided to build something, and we encourage a lot of people, we encourage everyone to be able to build something from your local solutions. But apart from that, if everybody's building something, we're going to have less users as well. There's also the job market. So that brings me to the next innovators I'm going to introduce. I don't have any names because I think it's a group of innovators. Nala, that's a digital platform that is designed to remove barriers to employment by creating a trusted, centralized space where job seekers can find verified opportunities from local employers and apply digitally, eliminating the need for travel, the need for printing. So the platform solves three key challenges: the cost of access, information fragmentation, and the lack of trust in online job markets. Please put your hands together for the innovators of Nala, reimagining job access in Lesotho.
A very good afternoon to you all, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nomvudoka Mabaleha, and I am the co-founder of Nala. My business partner is Mr. Tshepile Shao, but unfortunately he's not here today, so I will just present on my own, unfortunately. So, fortunately, so basically, I'm here to talk about the #1 national crisis that we have in Lesotho, unemployment. Ladies and gentlemen, prices are spiking. We have a war in Iran. Diesel prices are increasing day in, day out. But unfortunately, there are people without jobs. And they are really suffering as prices are increasing. Now, the #1 cause of unemployment that I looked into is the gap between businesses and job seekers. Why do I say this? In Lesotho, access to opportunities is limited. 9 times out of 10, businesses post job listings on Facebook, on Twitter, on WhatsApp channels. So sometimes a lot of people do not get to see these opportunities. For example, if an opportunity was posted last week on Facebook and I didn't have data, I didn't get to see the job post. So that means I missed out on an opportunity to apply. So I looked into that and I thought, how can we eradicate this problem? This is where Nala comes in. On top of that, I would also like to mention the fact that, so while we are looking at these job postings on Facebook, WhatsApp channels, we end up applying. A lot of people are desperate for jobs. So after they apply, the company comes to say, that was a scam, it's fraud, we didn't post this. So a lot of people are falling prey to all these job recruitment fraudulent schemes, which is something also that triggered me because so many people are paying application fees, they're sending their personal documents, they're paying for training. So this leads to financial loss of trust also, and the fear of applying online. And that's a problem in the digital age that we live in, ladies and gentlemen. So the people who now have this fear of applying end up resorting to physical applications. Where's the issue in that? Finances. You have to travel, you have to print out documents, you have to go certify, and you're not even guaranteed that you'll get a job, but now you've lost money. So all of these problems really made me look deep because after I graduated, I was really struggling to find how I can apply. How can we apply for jobs? How does this work? And on top of that, I also realized that a lot of rural communities are left behind. So this is where I get into Nala. I would like help to project it so that I show you the website. Is it already up? Oh, it is, yay. So this is the website. So how it would work is, first of all, you will create a profile. So this is my profile. You edit your CV, your personal summary, your skills, your work experience, your education, and all of that. And immediately after you add everything about yourself, you will go to jobs, and you'll find that the job postings that you will receive are only job postings that are curated to your career. So if you're an accountant, it will only give you job postings of an accountant. So I'm also limiting the process that goes into having to search, and then you see lawyer posts that don't relate to you. So you only get to see ones that are related to you. And the minute you click on a post, unfortunately, I've already clicked on this one, but here we would have had apply now. And the minute you click apply now, it applies for you automatically. So that's also reducing the hassle of having to put in information and all of that. And with this system, it is free for everyone, for every Mosotho, because I really want to make the job application process easier for everyone. And currently, our website is working with the LSP Growth Engine Graduate Program. This is a program that was launched to help unemployed graduates It gives 30 graduates the opportunity to have hands-on experience and executive membership. So NALA doesn't only help job seekers, it also helps businesses. So in partnership with LSP, we developed this website. So all graduates who are unemployed and are seeking to apply to LSP, they just go to this program that we designed for LSP. This is a sample of what it looks like. There's 6 months to change everything, comprehensive training, executive mentorship, and it only helps. It has partnered with over 12 companies, and this is the target. But I just want to show how it works when you want to apply. So you'll get on the website. So we have communication with different businesses. So if you're a business that wants to hop on to NALA, we go to you and you explain to us the type of website that you would want, and we develop it for you. And what they require is all of these documents, and then they have a selection process that happens like this. And another thing that I've noticed since cooperating with LSP is that even employers have it easy to find the person that they need, because a lot of companies struggle with the fact that they will receive over 5,000 applications because everyone is just trying to apply. And sometimes people don't even qualify, we're just applying. So it takes a long time for businesses to hire a person because they're scheming through a lot of applications. So what we do is we narrow it down even for businesses. So, for example, when you apply to LSP Growth Fund, if you don't meet any of the requirements, it doesn't allow you to go through. The AI bot that we placed on this website doesn't allow you to go through, and it will tell you that you don't meet the age requirements, you don't meet this specific eligibility. So that helps them narrow it down to exactly the type of people they need, the type of people they are looking for. So we're just really trying to make this, we're just trying to bridge the gap. NALA is the middleman between businesses and job seekers, and we're trying to make it very effective, very easy for both parties so that we can enhance employment in Lesotho, because unemployment is really a national crisis, ladies and gentlemen. With that said, I would like to open the floor to questions, comments.
Just before we take the question, I want us to reflect a little bit on this. This is incredible, but not just the project that she's presenting is incredible. You know, when she started presenting, she said there were no access to jobs online. And she said that is a problem. So she identified the problem. She did an analysis after identifying the problem, because it didn't just end with there are no jobs, right? She did an analysis and she went to say, oh, you know, information is not verified and people are getting scammed. She went on to say resources is a problem for people traveling to apply for jobs. And then she went beyond that access to partner with another organization to ensure that companies are getting the right talent. Please, can you put your hands together for this brilliantly? So right now, we're going to take the first question, probably just 3 questions in the interest of time, and then we have the last presentation for the day, and I'll let her take all the questions.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
I am a little bit worried, however, on this beautiful platform that you've built to connect employers to potential employees. And what worried me was when you said that this is free of charge. So now I'm worried about economic participation for you. I'm worried about lack of wealth building. Why? Why are we doing this? You are a young, beautiful, bright woman who has developed something that is, you know, almost like LinkedIn, almost. But what is beautiful about it is that it is local, and it is for local, young job seekers and local employers. What are you getting paid out of this? There's no energy exchange. And I'll tell you why I'm worried about this, because it is a continuous problem that we find ourselves in, is that a year down the line, this is going to become so successful and you are still not going to have any way to pay rent and to participate in the economy. And so you are creating the very problem that you are trying to solve. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yes, ma'am.
You need to rethink this, because this country can only go forward when we build wealth, when we create wealth, when there's money circulating in the economy. Somebody has to pay for this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Go think about that.
Thank you. Can I respond? Oh, thank you very much. So how it works is I get paid by the businesses. Whenever they need me to post a job opening, that's how I generate money. And even with LSP, the payment was made for us to post it on our website and to build the website for them. So I'm mostly charging companies, but it's free for Basotho job seekers because they don't have jobs. Yeah, but generally, I understand, and yes, ma'am, I'll consider it. Thank you very much.
Just to add more on that, maybe on the website,
Yes, sir.
since there are a lot of job seekers, so let's say you're probably just going to get traffic to the website. You should probably just sell ads.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I don't think there's another hand. Thank you very much. Oh, is there another hand? Oh, I think there's another hand at the back. Oh, no. Thank you very much for the contributions, and I've written them down. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Do you now understand why you didn't have to go home? So let's move from jobs to something that is also very important. You know, you can't work if you're not healthy, right? You need to be in good shape to be able to work. And so I'm going to move now to introduce you to another brilliant group of young people who have developed a clinic management system. So it is a healthcare management system that is designed to modernize and streamline patients' care in Maseru by addressing the key challenges such as long queues, lost paper records, and lack of after-hours medical advice. So the system provides a secure role-based platform for all its users, and it also has an advanced AI chat box, which enhances patients' engagement by offering symptom checks, basic medical guidance, and emergency referrals. Please put your hands together for the builders of the clinic management system. I hope they're in the room.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable ministers, chiefs, distinguished guests, fellow citizens. Imagine you're a mother in Mokotlo. Your child has fever. You walk 2 hours to the clinic. You wait 3 hours to see a nurse. The nurse asks for your child's health records, but they are lost. Paper files The paper file is somewhere in a pile, so the nurse starts from scratch. No history, no context, just guesswork. This is not a rare story. This is daily life for too many Basotho. We are Relebohile Mopa and Thato Rasupu. Today, we are not here to complain. We are here to show you a solution. A solution built by two incredible students for the nation. It is called Clinic Management System. Now, how many of you have lost their medical files or been told, come back tomorrow, your file is missing? How many of you? Your medical records? Almost all of us. Now, how many of you have a parent or a grandparent who forgets to take their medication because there is no reminder? Still a lot of you. This is not a small problem. These are daily barriers to health. They exist not because we lack doctors or medicine, but because we lack information. In 2026, we can spend money with our phones. We can buy airtime with a click, but when it comes to our health records, we are still using paper and waiting in lines. This must change. Why did we build the clinic management system, and what is it? It is a digital health management system. Think of it as a health diary, but smart. It lives on our phones or any phone or a computer with a browser. For a patient, it does 5 things. It records vital signs, being blood pressure, heart rate, blood sugar, temperature, weight, you can name them. The system saves time, it charts them, it shows you trends. It is also able to book appointments with doctors, manage medications, receive prescriptions digitally, and talk to an AI health assistant 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with no symptoms, medications, emergencies, and you can ask questions and get answers immediately. For a doctor, it instantly gives access to the patient history. No more searching for paper files. For an administrator, a clinic manager, or a district health officer can provide an oversight with who is using the system, what appointments are happening, and where problems exist. The system works without constant internet. Only for the AI system that we are currently working on to see on how we can go about it. So for those who understand technology, let me give you the details. Not to impress, but to ensure you that this is solid, proven, and maintainable. The clinic management system is built with Java, the very same language that runs ATMs, stock exchanges, and most government systems worldwide. It uses MySQL database to store patient records, appointments, vitals, and visit notes. It runs on Apache Tomcat, a free and open source web server. The AI health assistant is powered by Google Gemini, used purely for educational purposes, not medical diagnosis. It explicitly tells the patient that it is not a doctor. It is not here to replace a doctor, and that it seeks professional care for emergencies. The system also supports optional voice input, read aloud replies through the browser's web speech API, making it more accessible in busy clinic environments. The entire system costs almost nothing because we used open source tools. The skills are local, the code is local, the future is local. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, protocol is observed. My name is Tatarasupu again, and I'm sure you're probably wondering how our system is different from the existing systems in the healthcare centers. So we are aware of the Open MRS patient management modules, which is a large open source ecosystem for patient management, which includes registration, search, queues, vitals, appointments, and etc. So our system is more different in a way that it's much simpler, it's easier to understand for a single clinic demo, and it's focused on a narrow clinic workflow. It also includes a patient-facing AI health assistant, which is not the central idea of the standard Open MRS system. So our clinic is more focused on clinic operations. It's just a prototype for now. So we are more relevant to the Lesotho clinics. We could particularly deploy our system in the small private clinics, university clinics, community outpatient centers, pilot digital projects, and for environments, we could also do health informatics on it. So I would like to show a demo of our system, but we are kind of facing a problem here, a technical error. So, I would like to explain the AI assistant. It's in settings where the staffs are overstretched. An educational health assistant can help answer basic questions like what fever may mean, why hydration matters, and when to seek agent care. It also gives a disclaimer always after every response that it gives. It gives a disclaimer that it does not give medical advice. You still need to visit a doctor. So I'd like to get help. I'd like to project a system, please. Yeah. I should just do it here. This one, it doesn't have a Thank you. We are facing technical errors with the laptop, but yes. 2 minutes left. Okay. Okay, I'll only like to show the health assistant AI that it does give responses aloud. So I'm not sure you can see. Let me just do this. You can also read. Okay, thank you very much. So this is the interface of it. I'm not sure you can all see. It also has bilingual languages. We have Sesotho and English. For now, we are only waiting for the TS to give the Sesotho data sets. By the end of May, we're probably going to adopt from those. So it also has a microphone. If one can't see, they can use a mic to record that prompt. So for now, I'll just give a simple prompt. I have flu. Okay, then do this. I have flu. What can you recommend? Thank you. Okay. I'll use the read replies loud so you can all hear it. Come to me. I prompted, I have flu. What can you recommend?
Let's wait.
I'm sorry to hear you're feeling unwell. For flu-like symptoms, staying hydrated by drinking plenty of fluids like water, broth, or herbal teas is important. Rest is also crucial for recovery. Over-the-counter medications can help manage fever and aches, but it's best to consult with a pharmacist or doctor to choose the right one for you, especially if you have other health conditions or are taking other medications. Disclaimer: this is not medical advice. Contact your clinician or local emergency services for personal care.
I'm not sure if you quite heard that, but it does give responses and it also gives a disclaimer, like I said. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of our presentation. Would like to take questions. Thank you.
Oh my God.
It is sad that we couldn't be able to project. We would have loved you to see what we did with our own hands.
Questions, please. Would love to hear your questions or comments, please.
Okay. It seems your system is I don't know if two-faced is the right term, but it speaks to the patient and also it's a database for patient records. So in terms of accessing, because medical records are private and sensitive, because we couldn't see the demo, I'm not sure how then your system, does it have a login portal where you're going to, or the staff of the clinics will be able to then access records? And where does the AI component then come about for the patient to query any medical tips that they want to know about? Thank you.
Thank you very much for your question.
I think your question, what you're worried about is privacy, data privacy. So for the database that we have used, we used password hashing. And this is just a prototype of the idea that we had, and we implemented it. So we used the password hashing to hide password, to not give the real identity of what the password is, so that even if you get access to the system, you're not able to identify what password means. Also, you do have to register in order to get into the system, and you do have to log in. Did I answer your question?
Not particularly, but I'm more concerned that is then the login or the registration going to be preview only to clinic staff? Because I'm not hoping just anybody will then register and start getting records. Maybe, I don't know if I'm expressing my question in a way that you get it, but
I think I hear your question.
Yes, because I'm saying now, is your portal going to have two access points whereby there's going to be a login where staff then can register, and how do they prove that they are clinic or healthcare practitioners or people in the healthcare? You understand what I mean?
I understand.
Because they are the only ones who are preview to the data that is in there. Because I don't believe also as a patient, I should be just logging in and trying to look at my records, because they need to access it when I go to the clinic. So, and then the second part was that the AI, where I'm querying, is it something that's open to the public, or anybody who goes to the site will then can query those? Yes, you get me now.
I get your point. Thank you, ma'am. The system is role-based. Unfortunately, we couldn't show you our whole dashboard. We have 4 users, being the administrator, nurse, doctor, and patient. The administrator only registers the doctors and patients. And after that, the nurse or doctors, they're going to receive an email showing them that they can now have an access to the system that we have. And also, after, let's say, the system is deployed at Telkom, for example, The patient can now access the system on the web and register themselves. And for your second question, I think you talked about the AI being accessed by everyone. No, it's only accessed by patients who registered in the system. And also, it does not go out of the health scope. It only answers questions based on medical issues only. Anything aside, it will give you an answer that we cannot answer this question. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think there's a question. There's a question.
One last question. We're working against time, and please let it just be one question. All right.
Yes, we have 2 languages on our AI, is Sesotho and English. We are hoping to advance to that in future. Thank you then.
Okay, one last question, please.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm much impressed by your beautiful job. However, I have 2 issues. Because I must say, data integrity and security, as far as this kind of systems is concerned, should be well catered for. That to say, how have we catered for data backup and recovery in the case of whereby we are having breaches? The other thing is audit trails, because here we've got to be able to trace who did what and when. Have we catered for that as well? Thank you.
Thank you very much for your question. For now, I think we haven't gone that far. We only had like 10 days to prepare this project, but we did cater for that. We also have the stronger authorization checks. We also hope that in future, we are going to be able to have the audit logs, backup recovery processes, privacy consent and privacy controls and consent rules, and the field validation for for having the abuse protection in case. Does that answer your question?
Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I think the rest of the questions will take to the floor. Okay.
Can I please ask you to meet the ladies later on and ask your questions? Please, can we put our hands together again once more for this? And I understand the feeling, and I understand the excitement. I understand you wanting to let out everything that is on your mind, but the roadshow is up to Friday, so we're hoping that these young people keep coming every day. And we meet them in the communities, and you can ask them whatever questions you have. One thing that stood out with this team, when they started with a scenario. Imagine. And then they went on to say, we're not here to complain. We're here with the solution. Please, can we give them a round of applause? And this goes for all the innovators. What we have seen here today is exactly what the future of Africa's digital transformation should look like. And not only Africa, but the future of the Commonwealth digital transformation should look like. Local solutions, local talent, local leadership, and women and young people boldly building systems that solve real challenges. And as I look at these innovators, I feel 2 things. One is hope, and the other one is a slight pressure. Pressure to start something before tomorrow morning, because they said they had 2 days. Please put your hands together once more for this. And with that, we've come to the end of this session. Thank you for staying with us, and thank you for all your wonderful questions. It was a joy to have moderated this last session, and it was a joy to have you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure if the judges were intentional in breaking the glass ceiling, because, ladies and gentlemen, we had over 11 projects that were exhibited on Monday, but the winners came to be this very beautiful women who've done an extraordinary job in creating solutions in different facets of our lives. Let's give them a hand of applause, please. It's a very proud moment for us women. So thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to almost the end of day 3 and the end of our forums. And I should now take this opportunity to thank the CTO for seeing us capable of hosting such a huge event, and for us, Lesotho, for taking that up and actually hosting the event. I know I'm not going to be able to talk again, and please, I know it's time up, but I want to thank the organizing committee. You've done a stellar job. Thank you very much. Can we give them a hand of applause, please? And I would want to thank the CTO team that worked with the organizing team to identify the speakers. You've done a very great job. We've learned so much, and it has been such an experience. Thank you so much. A hand of applause, please. So the people who were born during my time, there was a soapy called Days of Our Lives, and it had Stefano Di Mera. Stefano Di Mera was always tired, so he had bubbles under his eyes all the time. That's what's happening so the people who organize this all have bubbles under their eyes. I don't know what Ntate Modupi will do with that information, but I think it should be taken into consideration that it has been very, very tiring. But I'm glad that we've done it. Can we give ourselves also a hand of applause, please? And now, can we also give Lesotho Communications Authority a huge hand of applause for actually sponsoring this event to its entirety. I never believed this would happen, but it has happened. SG, we have exhausted our budget, so if we come crying during the course of the year, please actually give us something. But actually, thank you very much, LCA, for this. A hand of applause once again. And now, obviously, I can't be the one wrapping up this 3 days I have my boss in here. On behalf of the CEO of LCA, can we have Ntate Modupi now officially closing the forums for us? But let us remember that tomorrow, we have the council session in the morning and afternoon, but in the evening, all those who are registered are also invited to come back here so that we have the closing reception. So the closing reception will be in this very hall at 7 o'clock in the evening tomorrow. And everyone who has registered, you're all welcome to join in the festivities of closing such a wonderful week. And those who can, please join us for the community outreach that we'll be holding at Kome in Berea on Friday. Those who can be there, please be there, and let's wrap up this whole week in style with the community, listening to their challenges and giving them solutions to some of their challenges. Thank you so much. And at this, can I call Ntate Modupi to come and give us now the closing remarks? Ntate Modupi. A hand of applause, please. Hey, I thought he was going to bring his laptop, and I thought we were going to be here until 7. Luckily.
I didn't bring my laptop, but then I brought my other device. The distinguished guests and delegates, I think we had a wonderful week, starting Monday until now. And what I have seen this far, it is really a wonderful engagement, a wonderful event. SG, we really think it's important that we have to thank you for letting us host this event. Actually, you know, it doesn't come as a surprise, because I remember when we were at the council meeting, I think it was 2-3 years back, we talked about this with the minister, and she was so passionate about it, and she asked us, it was myself and CFO Ndadetsi Kinyane, and whether it was possible for us to bring an event like this to Lesotho. And we said, no, that is possible. So, and here we are now. We have hosted the CTO event, and for that matter, it's not only the CTO event that we have been attending, but this one goes further to celebrate the 125 years of existence of the CTO. So what I would like to do is just to give remarks and thanks for the event, and specifically, I've been very impressed by the ladies, and I would like to just provide a few remarks on this particular event today. And as we come close to today's forum, I would like to take a moment to reflect on what has been truly insightful and impactful day. Today, we actually began the discussion on the empowerment of women in the digital economy, where it became very clear that inclusion is not just a moral imperative, it is an economic necessity. The perspectives shared reminded us that creating opportunities for women in digital spaces is central to the national growth and innovation. The second session that talked about digital skills for inclusive growth emphasized a critical point. Access alone is not enough, and this have been emphasized in all sessions. We must intentionally invest in skills development for women and girls, ensuring they are not just consumers of technology, but creators, leaders, and innovators in the digital ecosystem. Now we went further to talk about digital technology for better health outcomes, where we saw how technology can directly improve lives, enhancing access, you see that comes again, quality and efficiency in healthcare. This is a powerful reminder that digital transformation is not abstract. It has real, tangible impacts on communities. And finally, I was really taken up by the three groups, the technical demonstrations by women innovators, showcasing something that was truly inspiring. They talked about local solutions to local challenges. These innovators have not been waiting for change. They are driving the change, which is what we are really encouraging to see, not only in women, but the whole youth. I think it is very important for us to push and ensure that the youth drive their future. Normally people say, no, youth are future leaders. I think they should start now and not wait for what they can consider their future. So they presented the future we are all working towards. And as you can see across all the sessions, there is one message that is very clear. When women are fully included in the digital space, societies thrive. However, today's discussions must not end here. And I was discussing with one of my colleagues there about the second solution, Nala solution. We had something similar like this one. We wanted to automate all our processes at LCA. And we engaged a company. And you know, this company, when we were about to launch, they said, your data becomes a problem if it is in Lesotho and we are not in Lesotho. So it means we have to drop that project there and then go back to the normal process of sending CVs and letters physically to LCA. So I think these are the solutions that we are looking for. So they are solving challenges that we as Basotho are facing. So let me finally express my sincere appreciation to all moderators, panelists, speakers, and organizers of their dedication and valuable contribution. Your insights have not only enriched this forum, but have also helped shape the direction of our collective efforts. To all participants, thank you for your engagement and commitment. Your presence here signals a shared responsibility to advance this agenda. And as we move forward, let us remember that the digital transformation of our nations will only be strong as the inclusive we build into it, because the regulator, the policymaker, and the ecosystem of tomorrow cannot shape the digital future with tools of yesterday. With that, I think I'm done, and thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for the engagement. I thank you.
This is now quite funny because I don't even know why I'm up here. But I guess Nate Mudupi has now officially closed, and I'm certain in so many words, he thanked me in particular, and I'm sure I missed that. So for that, thank you, Nate Mudupi. I know you understand. Can you give me a hand of applause, please? And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the delegates that are leaving for Thaba Bosiu, the bus will leave at 6 o'clock. And let's meet at Thaba Bosiu. Thank you so much.
Ken.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you've lost something valuable, please contact the front desk. I'll drop it there. If you have lost anything valuable, kindly note that I'll just drop it by the front desk and you can get it from the ushers there. Thank you.
Yes, I can hear. Then back then, I go over where Baba can go and do more. Our to make no thing about you know. So it's just for that, really, the container for don't stress too much. Yes. Okay. Usha. Okay. Oh. Oh. I was worried like Aiko. Kapo, when I call, maybe we'll be hearing like, tomorrow we'll be going Kapo Maseru private. Oh. It's, we are not, but tomorrow, there's the session we are shooting, it's that one It's that close. It's only happening in that small room. It's just a closed session, like that one. Keep rafiki somewhere. Because even now, who knows what.